South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says it's key to show policy certainty to attract investors, especially in a country struggling to reignite economic growth. He made the comments during his State of the Nation address on Thursday evening. His plan for the next 5 years has to be a solid one, with the unemployment rate above 27.5% and more than half of South Africa's youth out of work. Ramaphosa has been on an investment drive to plug holes in an economy that saw a 3.2% drop in GDP in the first quarter of 2019. The power utility Eskom remains a hurdle. It's mired in debt and its infrastructure is old and needs to be revamped. Ramaphosa has promised to end government corruption and deliver on the long-delayed land expropriation policy.
Let us agree as a nation and as a people united in our aspirations that within the next 10 years, we will make progress in tackling poverty, inequality and unemployment, where no person in South Africa will go hungry.
Well, let's get more on this now with Biniza in Pretoria. He's the Executive Director of the think tank Political Economy Southern Africa. Well, welcome to the program, Sia. Now, the state electricity company Eskom featured prominently in Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address. We know that Eskom has been mired in debt. South Africa has suffered from rolling blackouts for a long time now. What is he promising to deliver on that front?
So the president is promising to provide a sort of package to guarantee a significant portion of the over 200 billion rand that Eskom needs to survive for the next 10 years. And in addition to this, he's also aiming to appoint a chief restructuring officer who is then aimed to restructure the state utility to improve efficiency, but also perhaps get rid of the non-core or low return assets that the company still holds. So this is obviously firstly a stimulus package from government, but also a restructuring of the utility to improve efficiency.
Now, he's also said in this address that Eskom is too big to fail. Others, even within his own government, would hold the opposite view, saying it should be allowed to fail or even be privatised. Do you share any of those views?
I think definitely, but the challenge that Eskom is facing is not unique. I think it's the same challenge that a number of utilities are facing in the region. If you look at Mozambique's EDM, etc., it's also caused by the transition towards renewable energy, but also the integration of independent power producers. So I think for the people who are pushing towards a more sort of independent power producer or decentralized energy sector in South Africa may be pushing us in the wrong direction. I think it's as a result of the existing power purchase agreements that are being undermined by the rapid reduction in the cost of implementing renewable energy that makes them unsustainable. And so I definitely think that we need to support Eskom to play a much more concerted role and improve its inefficiencies, but also deal with some of the challenges we face in terms of integrating independent power producers before we can consider sort of mass privatization in the energy sector in South Africa.
Now, unemployment, as we know, is a huge problem for South Africa. As I mentioned, the official rate is just over 27%. What is President Ramaphosa proposing to do there?
So he's proposing sort of a range of interventions. So this State of the Nation address is focused on 7 key interventions. And with regards to unemployment, the focus is around skills, as well as also providing work readiness programs for some of the youth who are most affected by the unemployment. So in that sense, we're not really seeing anything dramatically or radically new, although obviously the government cannot do much on its own and relies on cooperation with the private sector in order to absorb the huge glut of unemployed youth. But obviously this will take time as the government needs to convince investors or renew investor confidence so that the investment can take place and jobs can be made. But so the government is focusing on skills in this regard, but also increasing the social wage so as to reduce the cost of labor in the market more generally.
Okay, Biniza in Pretoria, thank you so much for analysing that for us on Money Talks.